I'm in Bangkok on the final day of the Princess Cup. The tournament is taking place at the Bang Na shopping centre, right in the middle of Bang Na. And features some of the stars of the modern game. After 18 rounds, the top 2 will contest a best-of-2 final, while everyone else plays one more game. With 16 rounds played, Nigel Richards has made the final. Gomon Panyasophonlert leads the chasing pack, and shortly after secures his berth in the final too. There are a lot of prizes for the winner. The first game of the final will take place on a giant board. Crowds gather for the final, buying merchandise and watching other games. Round 18 begins for the non-finalists, while a giant screen showcases some Scrabble legends. And a crossword competition takes place on stage. Tournament organiser Am New greets Nigel Richards and advises him that the penalty for an overdraw will be death. Richards is clearly upset and remonstrates. To no avail. The tournament clock for the final has its own pedestal. A team of local Sherpa children clear the board, placing tiles face down in the tile dispenser. The players are introduced to the crowd, and we're ready to go. East versus West, left versus right, and right versus wrong. Nigel opens with Hodja, but Gomon bingos with Amenity to take the lead. A tricky rack for Nigel, but both players are supremely competent and professional. At this level, you simply aren't going to see a player dropping a tile on the ground. Oh dear. Nigel plays Yui and replenishes his rack. Three I's and a U. Not good. As is normal at Thai tournaments, a female provocateur has been employed to goad the players into making more and more extreme and exciting plays. Gomon, an expert in psychological warfare, stares at Richards from underneath his rack until the great man blinks. He then plays a 3-letter word. Big mistake. Lady Haw and her sidekick Ravioli confer and let Gomon know exactly what they think about this weak play. Suitably chastened, Gomon bingos on his next turn. Nigel wisely wears a pair of earphones, Stacey's mom keeping the Harpies' taunts at bay. He has a clunky rack and plays Pite. Gaumont piles in with another bingo to move further ahead. Nigel has a bingo too, Endiron, but nowhere to play it. It's not looking good. But spurred on by the glittering prizes and the fountains of Wayne, 2 moves later he does bingo. Game on. Richards is also not averse to the dark arts, engaging a local schoolgirl to unsettle his opponent by performing the haka right in front of him. Ravioli's wry grin showing his approval of this underhand but perfectly legal tactic. Richards needs a bingo to win. He plays Kern and draws the tiles for Douanier on the bottom row through the floating R. He has no other bingo. Tension escalates. Gaumont gets out of his seat, gives Nigel the eyes, feints to play at the top of the board, then drops to his knees to block the R. So cruel. The remaining moves play out, and not even a stuck cue can prevent Gaumont from winning. Lady Haw-Haw congratulating the players on a brutal battle, well fought. The other players finish their final game. Gaumont and Richards agree the score. The players are dressed in black because the country is mourning the passing of their king, Bhumibol Adulyadej, after 70 years on the throne. As a mark of respect, a book of condolence is opened outside Starbucks. Game 2 of the final begins. Many people regarded the deceased king as Great Father. Others knew him simply as Batman, their hero. Play has opened with an exchange of bingos, Demain and Oakwood, and Nigel is sitting with Hydremia on his rack through the H on the bottom row. Gaumont doesn't block it, and Richards moves into the lead. Ambient noise is still extremely loud. Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy helping to keep Nigel focused and grounded. In a moment of Nigel magic, is he going to draw Aardvark straight out of the bag? No, he isn't. Behind the players, a prize ceremony is being conducted, and youth finalists play one of their games on the giant board. Meanwhile, the players have exchanged more bingos, and Nigel has a troublesome rack. He looks to the escalators for inspiration, and finds none. Sensing blood, a crowd gathers. In between 2 people's heads, Gaumont plays Vexing for 75 points, a killer blow. Nigel has Abjura, but nowhere to play it. There is 1 tile in the bag. Gaumont is on the verge of victory. He looks at the board, then the clock, then back at the board. The crowd jostles. Nigel looks resigned. He knows it's over. The players check scores and shake hands. Gaumont has won. Nigel offers to buy Gaumont a drink, and Gaumont says just a half. At this point, things turn ugly. The crowd intrudes too much into Nigel's personal space, and he reaches for a can of mace. A melee ensues until order is restored, and Gaumont enjoys the afterglow of victory. Meanwhile, the youth final continues, and it's time to leave the never-ending world of Thai tournament Scrabble. It's early. I'm at the airport. It's been an amazing week of Scrabble here in Bangkok, and I'm heading south now to Malaysia for the Causeway Challenge.